Serve even when it's not convenient. Jesus stopped what he was doing. He was on the road to Jerusalem. He had an important place to be and an important thing to do, but Jesus stops what he's doing to acknowledge Bartimaeus. He could have kept right on going, and the crowd would have thought nothing of it. The reality is, church, that for us, the times that we get called in to serve are probably going to be at the most inopportune times. But I don't think we can ever err when we choose to serve other people. We shouldn't run through life with such short margins that we don't have space to serve anyone. And that's my fear for us in the Western church, is we run so hard and we have so many things that we're doing that we're so busy that we miss the opportunities to serve the people around us. Now, having 6 kids, I understand that kids are a consistent interruption. They're notorious for interruptions, right? And I can speak a little bit into this, that our kids they cannot become the center of our world, right? The world does not revolve around any one of them. And yet, if we want our kids to learn how to serve, we have to model it for them. We have to serve them. We have to show them what service looks like, right? I can't tell you how many times I've heard in my home, "Mom, can you wash this? Can you make me something to eat? Can you sign this paper for school?" Or, "Dad, can you fix this that I broke?" Right? "My bike doesn't work. Can you fix it? Can you look at it?" Or, "This little piece of plastic that will never, ever go back together, but I will try to super glue it for you because I'm your dad," right? Or practical. Maybe it's at work. Your coworkers ask for help on a project. Do you have time to give them some energy? Can you serve them? Even if it doesn't benefit you, can you serve them in that project? A friend needs help moving. Do you have time to go help them move? Now, a side note here, if you ask me to come help you move, if I have time, I'm going to come help you. But one thing that I ask, please, put your things in boxes. If I come to your house and all your stuff is still on your shelves, I might just turn around and walk back out the door. I love you, but come on. All right. Jesus pushed his disciples to think outside of themselves. The very thought that he would make time for Bartimaeus. Jesus not only tells them, but he shows them how to serve the least of these. The third point here is to serve the people no one else wants to serve. Many rebuked him and told him to be quiet. In that account that Mark gives us, many turned and looked at Bartimaeus when Bartimaeus is crying out to get Jesus' attention. And they look at him and they rebuke him and they tell him to be quiet. Don't you know he has places to go? The crowd thought that Bartimaeus wasn't worth the Messiah's time. But Jesus stopped and showed them exactly what he meant when he said, "I came to serve, not to be served." This is real-time classes in session with Jesus. You want to make a powerful disruption in a dark world. Serve the people that nobody else wants to serve. You want to shine a light into a dark place. Serve the people that people think aren't worth serving. There's a passage in Romans where the Apostle Paul points this out. He says, "Live in harmony with one another." We need that passage right now. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be proud, but here it is. But be willing to associate with people of low position. Do not be conceited. Jesus was willing to associate with somebody that everybody else thought wasn't worth his time. But Jesus made time. You have to realize that Bartimaeus had nothing to offer Jesus. There was nothing that Bartimaeus could give Jesus that was of value other than his own life. But Jesus stops and makes time for him, and he asks this question. And church, I think this is a question we need to put into our vocabulary. He asked this question, "What do you want me to do for you?" So as I was getting ready for this message, God has a funny way of working on the heart of somebody who gets to speak like this, because oftentimes God is teaching me a lot more than I feel like I can ever share in the times when I'm preparing for a message. So it was 2 weeks ago, I had been preparing for this, and I was at the Wawa across the street from our Ephrata campus, and I had stopped in just to pick up something real quick, and I parked my car, and I started to walk towards the building, and as I was walking towards the building, I noticed a man who was very disheveled. His clothes were dirty, they were ratty, his hair was long, unkept, his beard was unkept, and he was looking right at me. And I had this moment where I knew, okay, I can go to the left here, walk around the cars to the front door, or I can stay on the path that I'm headed, and it's going to lead to an encounter with this man. So I felt like I should keep walking. So I walked right up to him, and he begins spewing everything to me. He's like, hey, I'm homeless. I've really been hard on my luck. And he goes through this whole list of things that's happened to him in a very short amount of time. And I stopped him, and I said, hey, hold on. I said, what's your name? And he kind of paused, and he said, my name's Toby. I said, Toby, my name's Chris. It's nice to meet you. And then I asked him this question. I said, Toby, what can I do for you? And it was like nobody had ever asked him that question before. It like caught him off guard. And he said, well, actually, what would really be nice is a lemon tea. And I was like, so you want me to get you a lemon tea? And he's like, that would be really great. So I walked inside, bought the things that I needed, and for $2.29, I bought him a lemon tea. I walked out, handed it to him. He said, thanks so much, man. And he walked away. That was it. But that was all that he had asked me for. Now, he could have asked me for $1 million. I wouldn't have had $1 million to give him, right? But I thought, what a question to ask in this moment. So I would encourage us, church, to consider that question. What do you want me to do for you?